Okay, hello students. So right now you are in the midst of your reading assignment, hopefully, and you're learning about fabric construction methods. I just wanted to create this video just to look at some examples of these fabrics. So when you are in your wardrobe, you can look and see if you could find examples of them in your personal wardrobe before the week is out, just to link them with reality, these names, these terms with reality. Okay, so the printed notes that you got from me talked about different fabric construction methods. Construction means what? Make. Okay, so different ways to make fabric. So two common ways to make fabric, probably I would say fairly the most common methods of making fabric: weaving and knitting. Okay, so we know that weaving is done by interlacing lengthwise yarns and crosswise yarns at right angles to each other on a loom. Okay, so we have types of weaves: plain, twill, and satin weaves. So weaving, we have a plain woven fabric here. Okay, so the thing to remember about these two methods, a good way to remember how they're different: woven fabric are not naturally stretchy in the lengthwise and crosswise grains without the help of spandex. Okay, now woven fabric naturally is a little bit, it has a little bit of give if you pull this way. Very little though, very little. Nothing to run home about. And definitely when you pull up and down lengthwise, it has no give at all, okay, in this direction. So that's the beauty of woven fabric. You want it to have structure. You want it to hold its shape very well. Now, if you choose to use the different fabric, the knitted fabric, then you want to have a nice stretch to your fabric, okay, when you have it in the garment form. We have an example of knitted fabric here. So knitted fabric, we know from our notes, is done by pulling loops of yarns to other loops of yarns to create interlocked rows. So both of them use some type of locking to get the fabric established, okay? So we have here knitted fabric. If I stretch it up and down, oh, it's a beautiful stretch. Stretch across, just as good, okay? A pretty good stretch. Okay, and that's the beauty of knitted fabric. So just think about which areas in your school uniform have fabric that are knitted or woven, whether it's your PE uniform or your actual everyday uniform you wear every day. Usually, we know our school shirts are woven. Okay, garments like your socks, usually knitted fabric. They are very firm fitting. They stretch easily to be placed on your feet. Common. What else we find made from knitted fabric? We think about it for a second. What else? Your sweaters, okay? T-shirts, things like that. All right. Now you may think, well, my jeans are very stretchy. They're firm fitting. They're also knitted. That's not guaranteed. Okay, if you have jeggings, that's probably knitted fabric being used for jeggings. But traditional jeans are used, are made with a woven fabric. The reason it's stretchy is because of spandex. They put spandex in the crosswise direction to give you a nice form-fitting fit across your body when you put your jeans on. Okay, just remember that is a difference. All right. Now, besides these two common methods, you have other methods in your textbook outlined: crocheting, lace making, netting, felting, and bonding. Okay, but before we do that, I'm supposed to show you. You got this image uploaded in your chat. Okay, so these are just examples of the three common weaves, plus one more for good luck. The three common weaves used in garment construction. Okay, plain, twill, satin. Okay, just notice how the yarns are going over and under. Okay, and in the plain weave, you have one yarn or the same amount of yarns going over, the same amount of crosswise yarns, lengthwise yarns, and crosswise yarns. Okay, so these are pictures of woven fabrics under a microscope and a picture of knit fabric. These are all the same. Of knit fabric under a microscope. Okay, you have loops going through other loops to make the fabric. Okay, this is the weave often used for your jeans pants, twill weave. Okay, this is the weave often used for shiny silky fabric like sateen, the satin weave. Okay, we have a few examples here we'll look at in a second. Just appreciate the visual of them. So back to your notes and textbook content. Crochet. We have no crochet here. I do not know how to crochet, so I don't tend to have anything in my home or in my classroom that is crochet fabric, okay? But most of the other ones we do have. Next in your notes was lace making. So lace making, that to the side. We have here, this is a classic lace fabric here. Just to appreciate it, let's put my hand through it. Beautiful lace, okay? So lace making, an open work fabric made up of threads that are usually shaped to make designs. So what design do you see in this fabric? I see flowers. It's really pretty. Okay, so we have open work fabric, meaning you can see through it quite easily, okay? This is classic lace. Lovely lace, okay? And it's my favorite lace I can find. Now this is also called lace. This is not, in my opinion, classic lace, but we do label fabric like this as lace in our fabric store, okay? It's actually a mixture of both, okay? So you have netting. So what's netting now? In this construction method, continuous coils of yarn loops through each other, through each other, forming a mesh-like background. So you have these beautiful designs and twists of these yarns, these floral designs stitched onto netting, okay? As I said, we call this fabric lace as well. It's not traditional lace in my opinion, but we call it lace, all right? So you can see it's beautiful, it's intricate. You can imagine the time it takes to make it, whether it's by machine or by hand. So this tends to be a fabric at a very high price point. Netting, we also have netting examples here in a more obvious way. So you have this pink fabric. Now this fabric is very stretchy, okay? It's not knit, okay? The fiber used to make the fabric is stretchy, okay? So it has this very lovely drape. It falls very easily, okay? It's the opposite of this fabric here. This fabric here doesn't have a pretty fall. It's stiff, very stiff, okay? So you have here netting. You can see through it quite easily. Where would you see this fabric being used? Okay, one thing that comes to mind for me, beachwear, resort wear. Okay? And you have examples of, these are woven fabrics. They're satin, okay? White and this light yellow here, okay? So you have satin fabric. You can see it's very shiny. That's one of the most obvious advantages of satin fabric. It has a beautiful luster to it because of how the fabric is made. Now, a disadvantage, in my opinion, the biggest flaw of satin is that it snags easily. Snag means what? That the yarns run, okay? And it creates a hole or a gap in your fabric. And it can't continue to do that for a very long time. So you have this white, beautiful satin. It's a little heavier than this one, okay? Now this black fabric underneath is not satin, but it is shiny, as if it is. This is chiffon, okay? Chiffon is quite transparent. It has a beautiful fall, usually. Not as nice as these satins here and the netting, but it is pretty good. Okay, so that's chiffon. So there you have it. You have 7 fabric construction methods that we use We didn't see a picture of bonding, but if you think of a classic raincoat, the yellow old-fashioned one you see in pictures and movies a lot, that's bonded. Okay, the outside is a rubbery texture, and the inside is usually lined a little bit more comfortably, so when it touches your skin, you wouldn't sweat and be uncomfortable. Okay, so that's bonded fabric. All right, so you have weaving, knitting, crocheting, lace making, netting, felting. Oh, we didn't discuss felting. Felting, if you think of your Christmas stockings, usually fabric like this is used to make Christmas stockings, even craft projects. It's used in Junkanoo, decorating actually for the costumes. And usually some of our blankets are made from felted wool or acrylic fabric, okay? So this fabric is not made through weaving or knitting. It's made using heat and moisture, okay? So the fibers are all mild together to look like this and compressed, okay? An example of felting in a thinner way, this is called interfacing. Now this word shouldn't be brand new to us. Interfacing is a layer of fabric used to make, is used on the wrong side of your garment to make a garment area stiffer and have more body. So this fabric, I can tear it. You shouldn't be able to tear lace, netting, woven or knit fabric, or even bonded fabric. But felting, because of the way you make it, I can eventually tear and stretch it out of shape, okay? So that's something that maybe is a disadvantage of using felted fabric, okay? Doesn't always hold shape well. So there you have it. You have an example of denim hair, or we say in our country jeans fabric, okay? This is a plain weave. I'm trying to find a good angle. Horrible lighting. Another woven fabric, and another plain weave, okay? So I hope this gives you a little bit more clarity, very messy corner there, on fabric construction methods, okay? So I hope this video finds you all in good health, and I miss your faces. I hope you all are safe and sound, and until we have another video, bye.